Cam.
Hi, I'm Prayson Pate. I'm the CTO of the Edge Cloud Group at ADVA, where I also lead solutions marketing. I'm joined today by Emil Masi, who is a director of product line management for the FSP 150 family. Hi, Emil. How you doing?
Doing great. Thank you, Prayson.
We were chatting earlier, and I understand things are getting a little better from a COVID standpoint, and people are going back to school.
Well, hopefully, yes, kids will go back to school next Monday, so finger crossed. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's always a good news, bad news situation. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about evolution in the access market, as well as a new member of the FSP 150 family, the XG118 Pro CSH. We're seeing a growth in bandwidth from 1 gig to 10 gig. We're seeing that there's requirements for supporting future features. And as enterprises move their business critical applications into the cloud, there's a growing concern about security. So, Emil, tell us a bit about what you're seeing in the market.
It's a very good summary, Prayson. In fact, after many years of waiting, the move from 1 gig to 10 gig is picking up speed in the access, and we now see more and more customers upgrading their services to 10 gig. One of the main reasons for the quick adoption of high-speed services at the edge of the network is the cloud. So enterprises and business customers, but also residentials, are moving their application to the cloud. Now, what's happening is that data has to travel to the cloud to be processed and stored. And as you say, this is an increasing concern, not just for the end customers, but also for the operators that may have liability for data breach and data fraud. So this is clearly a concern. But on the other side is also an opportunity for service providers to upsell their connectivity services by adding encryption. Now, a common practice to reduce the surface of attack to in-flight data is the so-called Swiss cheese model, where you use multiple layers of encryption to protect the integrity, the authenticity, and the confidentiality of data on the move. Now, if you look at MACsec, it fits extremely well in this model to protect high-speed services because it supports high speed with lower cost and lower power consumption compared to other technology. And it also protects not just the data, but also the metadata, for example, IP addresses, UDP ports that are being transported by higher layer protocols.
Now, I had not previously heard of the Swiss cheese model, so I looked it up. And it seemed odd to refer to a security model as being modeled on something that's full of holes. But as with Swiss cheese that has holes in each slice, you can take and have multiple slices where presumably the holes don't line up. And so overall, you can increase system security and also address holes in each layer as you find them. And that leads to another important aspect for devices at the edge of the network, and that's the need for future-proof growth. So, Emil, tell us a bit about what types of features are needed to assure future-proof growth, especially with respect to security.
Yeah, excellent point, Prayson. From a security standpoint, you need to be able to react to new and unforeseen threats. Flexibility and programmability is paramount for a product that must provide state-of-the-art encryption. Security experts call this crypto agility. It is the capability to add new and more robust cryptographic algorithms, but also removing those that over the time have become weaker or even compromised. So when we started the CSH program, one of the first decisions that we made was to implement the encryption engine for the high-speed data path in the FPGAs. This gives us a platform with the much-needed flexibility to keep up with security threats. The other important decision that we made was to use a dedicated high-performance cryptographic module, the so-called CSM. The CSM provides all the cryptographic services to the encryption engine and also stores and protects the critical security parameters which are essential to keep security in the solution. So the CSM is a common cross-view and cross-product effort that has been designed with crypto agility in focus. And this will enable us, once again, to add stronger security algorithms just by software upload or download in this case. But flexibility is equally important in the access for service providers and operators because they need to innovate services, but at the same time, they need to keep the costs in check. And this is a huge benefit that open compute and network virtualizations bring to them. By deploying open compute at the edge of the network, where and when needed, you can add and replace application with unprecedented velocity.
The crypto security module, the CSM, is very interesting, and that will be appearing in other ADVA products in the future. But tell us a bit more about this new addition to the FSP 150 line, the XG118 Pro CSH, and some of its other aspects beyond the security and the hosting for open compute.
The XG118 Pro CSH is in itself a powerful toolbox that combines the operational robustness and versatility of a traditional 115.8. Think about item design or hardware-based synchronization with the openness and programmability of a universal CPE. The product has been designed from the ground up to add a strong security framework for the demarcation of connectivity and cloud services. And this will give service providers the option to sell encryption as a service. But within the CSH is also an interesting proposition for large enterprises and business customers that must maintain control of all the aspects relevant to security and encryption. Well, this organization, typically large organization with skills and scale that enable them to manage security end-to-end, will just need to buy standard Ethernet services from a connectivity provider, connect their sites, and deploy the XG118 Pro CSH at the end of the services, and just apply encryption end-to-end without any additional requirement to the transport network. But we also think that the XG118 Pro CSH is appealing to system integrator. In fact, we think that they will find the CSH an ideal platform to basically build and sell add-value services to their customer. They can really full unleash the power of the CSH as a universal CPE. They can pick and choose the best-of-breed VNF application in the connector ecosystem, integrate them in a managed solution, and add a strong layer of encryption to the mix.
Well, it sounds like the XG118 Pro CSH is a very strong addition to the FSP 150 family. So hats off to you and the team. If you would like to learn more about this product, go to adva.com and you can look at the product page or see the data sheet. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
TechCam.